All right, a big shout out to all of you that has gone to the hardware money shop, to buy one or two things. People go there to buy desktop PCs, small form factor PCs, tower PCs. People have gone there to buy laptops, monitors, accessories, graphic cards. I want to say a very big shout out to all of you guys because you guys simply, rock. The feedback I constantly get from you guys is that whenever you go to the hardware money shop to buy something, it doesn't matter if it's a PC or a laptop, you tend to get items in very, very good conditions. And I see the feedback that you guys send to me via email, and it kind of encourages me and wants to make me even do more. So whenever I have an item that is not looking in the best condition, I'm not talking about technical condition right now, I'm talking about an item that is not looking in the best optical condition, I don't want to put it on the hardware money shop because I do not want to disappoint that trust that you guys have already given me. You see, I might be tempted to want to list an item like this, but when I take a look at this item, I just see all manner of scratches on this PC right here. It's not like the PC is not, actually working. As a matter of fact, it's a HP EliteDesk 800 G4 small form factor PC, decent PC in every way. And this is not one PC I would like to, tear down. This is one PC I naturally like to sell, but because of the fact that this PC, for one reason or the other, just have some terrible scratches. I wouldn't know how it was used. Typically, these office PCs tend to, be in very, very good condition. But take a look at this here. There are all manner of scratches here. All right. This has gotten nothing to do with the technical condition of the PC, but because I just want to be known for, that one-stop shop where you go to and you get used items in very decent condition, I typically don't want to, put this item there. And because of that, I'm going to be giving this PC right here, a different treatment today. See, one of the reasons why people don't buy used PCs is because they are not so sure in what condition the PC is going to be in. It doesn't make sense for somebody. First of all, you do not have money to buy new, and then your little savings, you're finally convinced yourself, okay, I do not have money to buy new, but I can actually go ahead and buy a used PC. And then you go online to try to search for a used PC. You find what you're looking for. You are happy that you're going to be laying your hands on a very decent PC, and you go ahead, you buy it. Not only that the PC takes 3 days to be delivered to you, it finally comes to you, and the PC is just looking in a terrible shape. Sometimes the power on button here might not be working properly. One of the USBs might be broken. And if you take a look at the PC, some of the USB ports at the back might be broken. One of these screws might be missing. This is the reality. And when people receive this kind of items, they are so pissed off. And they want to generalize that the whole used PC market is just a shit show. And I'm trying to reduce this because I understand that people are kind of disillusioned. They no longer want to, buy this stuff because they feel like if they buy it, it's just going to be one problem or the other. The processor is going to work. It's going to start to complain, give you all manner of, terrible error messages. And the RAM sticks, in some cases, might not even be working properly. The hard drive, the SSD might not be new. And people are tired of having problems. You do not want to know how inconvenient it is for you to, buy a PC. You have spent hours, setting up the PC. You have copied your old files from your old PC to the PC, and then you try to put it on, and what you get is just one problem or the other. But then this is not the problem with this PC. This PC is in the best of condition. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be switching it on one more time just to be sure that, yes, this PC, as at the time of me, giving it the hardware money treatment, the PC is still in a very, very good condition. I'm only letting it go just because this PC, I feel like it doesn't really meet the standard I would love to sell. And yes, there are still a lot of valuable and decent parts on this PC that we can still be using. The main board is actually something that somebody somewhere would definitely need. This PC was one successful PC, from HP. It's an EliteDesk, like I said, 800 G4 small form factor, a decent PC, very successful. A lot of these PCs actually did sell. And right now, we still have a lot of these PCs, in offices, in private homes. And I feel like if I go ahead to take this PC apart, which is giving it the hardware money treatment, there will definitely be somebody somewhere that will find one of these parts to be interesting. You see, we've got the power supply right here, which is still in very good condition. We've got a processor right there, and the processor fan, excellent. It's only dusty. It's not a problem. I can actually go ahead and clean it. You see, we've got this front blend right here, all right? Sometimes some people have these PCs and the front blend might be broken and somebody somewhere might be thinking, I think I want to go ahead and change, my front blend. This is something that I can still go ahead, and list on the Hardware Money shop. You might be wondering now, Hardware Money, I want to take a look at the shop and see what items you actually do have. You want to go to the link in the description below, click on it, and you'll be taken directly to the Hardware Money shop. You might actually have the opportunity of buying some parts of these PCs that we're going to be listing, much later. All right. The RAM sticks, they are missing, but this shouldn't be a problem. As a matter of fact, I actually have to populate the RAM compartment to be able to test it. We've got some cables that somebody somewhere might be needing, and the processor is also there, an Intel 8 Gen Core i5. We've got the loudspeaker right here, and this is possibly everything that one will be needing on this PC. Like I said, the main board as well as the power supply might just be the most interesting thing right here. You see, when we receive these PCs, we tend to receive them in large quantities, and it's just impossible to begin to check one after the other if the supplier has done a good job by delivering the item in the best condition. Sometimes it is what it is. You receive these items like 10 or 15 or even 20 pieces. 18 are in very, very good condition, and 1 or 2 will have little defects here and there. But this is just an exception. Ideally, it's something I can still sell, but like I said, I do not want a situation where somebody go to the Hardware Money shop and buy this and then come around to say, Hardware Money, I kind of like the PC you sent to me. It's very quiet. As a matter of fact, it's very fast, but I took a look at the housing of the PC and I don't seem to like it because the scratches are just terrible. Is this something you can do with the price? I feel like this is just a long process. The best thing for me to do is to take this PC apart and then go ahead and list it for parts, because I am pretty sure that somebody somewhere would definitely be needing something for this PC. But before we go into all that, I want to be sure that this PC is in the best working condition. I'm going to go ahead and switch it on, populate the RAM slots, make sure the PC is switched on so that at the point of taking it apart, I can tell in the description that, look, this is an item that has been tested. And if any of you perhaps is fortunate to be on the Hardware Money shop trying to buy this, definitely the video of me testing it and taking it apart is going to be linked up there. So you have the best guarantee that yes, this main board or this power supply is actually highly, highly functional. So I'm going to go about doing that now. First, to set up my connections. I'll be right back. So up until now, I've taken out the front blend, which is this covering that was right here. I'm just going to go ahead and connect what I have to connect. I've got my mouse. So the mouse is going to go somewhere there. And I've got a keyboard that's also going to go here, and that's the display port cable. The beautiful thing about this PC right here is that it actually has 2 display port possibilities at the back, which makes it kind of unique, because if you want to go ahead and connect more than 1 monitors, it should normally be very, very seamless. All right, so I've also got in my RAM sticks here, so it's the time where I have to go ahead and slot them on. In this way, I can actually go ahead and test this PC to be sure that it's still, in good working condition. So one of the RAM sticks goes there, and the other comes here. Okay, so I think the way it looks, we've gotten everything. The only thing that's left is just the power cable. And as soon as that goes in, nothing is happening, which is pretty much expected because I still need to switch on the PC right in front of it, all right? And if I remember correctly, going to the BIOS on a HP PC like this, I think I have to constantly, hit on the F10 key on the keyboard. But right now I have to, switch this PC on one way or the other. I'm just going to get my screwdriver right there. All right, it appears. I'm just going to raise it up so that you can actually see. So hitting my F10 key, the fans are spinning, very quiet. This is one decent PC. I've always talked about this PC to be a very, very quiet PC, and right now I can pretty much not hear, the fans spinning, which is very, very interesting. Okay, right there we have a display protected by HP Sure Smart. Hopefully it goes to the setup menu. Okay, this is pretty much normal because I have just, downgraded, the RAM sticks. It's possible that on this PC previously was 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, but the PC now is telling me that, look, the system memory size is different from the last setup. This is normal, so I have to only press on enter on my keyboard, to continue. So enter, we've gotten that, asking to run some kind of test. I do not want that, so I'm going to exit. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes. And this should normally, take me to the BIOS page. So what I'm driving at is that this PC right here, an Intel Core i5 8th Gen, and installed right now is an 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. It's in very good working condition, something that will still definitely serve someone if you decide to go for the main board or if you decide to go for the power supply. The power supply here says 80 plus platinum. This is supposed to be a very good, original HP power supply. I'm not so sure if this fits for the other models like the 800 G3, but definitely it should because they are all the same build and pretty much would need the same power supply. But then when I post this video, I'm still going to make a little research and see if this power supply right here fits for the 800 G3 models as well as other models you have out there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, save changes and exit, and in this way I'm absolutely sure that this PC is in very, very good working condition. So if anybody might be interested right now, in the main board or the power supply in this way, I can actually go ahead to say, look, this is a PC that has been tested by me. You have absolutely no reason whatsoever, to worry. All right, it's about time I start to take out this beautiful PC apart, and I'm just going to start out with this screwdriver right here. And I think the best place to actually start is to take out the RAMs. These are the RAMs that I had installed on the PC. Enable me test it out. I'm going to bring that out, and this covering right here, that just came out pretty easy. And I'm going to go ahead and also take out the processor cooler. This shouldn't be a difficult thing to take out because there are just 4 screws right here that I need to pull out. All right, and that's the processor right there. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is to actually start to pull out these cables. That's the SATA cable. Just going to take it out, and it's kind of be interesting because there might be somebody that would actually need this. Of course, I know there are a lot of SATA cables, but it's possible that somebody out there might just be needing something, really short like this. And this I would also try to put on the hardware money shop. All right, and this goes out as well as this goes there. Okay, so the next thing is just to go ahead, take out the screws holding the main board to the chassis. Ideally, if all the screws have been taken out, it should be very easy for me to just lift up the main board and then bring it out. Okay, this is proving a little bit difficult, but if you have to ever do this, the only thing you have to take care of is that you are a little bit careful. This is not something that you do in a hurry. If I didn't have any plans of using this main board again, then I would have just been a little bit careless with opening it. But since I have real plans of actually selling this on the hardware money shop, I have to be actually very careful as not to destroy any of the components while trying to take out the main board. Okay, if I see correctly, I still have one screw holding it right here, and this angle is a little bit very tight, so that's why it's not coming out so easily, but it's not a problem at all. I still can take it. Okay, that's out. And at this point, all I have to do is just to lift up the main board, and this is exactly what I was, trying to get. I'm going to take out the processor. This is also a very good one. Just going to keep it somewhere there so that it's kind of safe. And if you take a look at this main board, it's looking very, very clean. I'm going to go ahead, make good pictures so that I still can list this, and definitely I know somebody is going to find this still very, very useful. All right, that's it. Beautiful, nothing broken. And in case you are wondering, on this particular PC, the 800 G4, you can actually get the possibility to install an NVMe SSD right there. This is something to consider, which means you could actually have an NVMe SSD on board. You could also have a HDD drive as well as an SSD drive on board. It's a decent PC, I can tell you, for free. All right, so now that is gone, the only thing that's left now is for me to take out the power supply, which is right here. And this typically tends to be held down by just, yes, right here. 3 screws. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So that comes out, and this as well. As well as this. So that's the power supply right there, actually looking very light. The beautiful thing is that it's an original HP 180 watts, 80 plus platinum power supply. This thing right here can still power your PC. Let's say you have a similar PC that has a broken power supply, you may want to consider getting something like this. If you ever have to replace your power supply on these pre-built PCs, it's always best to go with the original power supplies. As a matter of fact, it might be difficult for you to get a non-original power supply with this same kind of proprietary connector. It might not be easy to get. I would really advise you that if you want to ever change the power supply of your HP EliteDesk, consider going with the original power supply. Anyway, this is all we've got. Right here is the speakers. I still can actually take that out because they are just screwed on here. There might be somebody that has this model of PC and feels like, okay, I do not have a speaker on board, I want to buy these speakers. That comes out. All right. All right, that's the last speaker there. Beautiful, very cute. This is definitely going to be finding a new home, somewhere, somehow. All right, that's going to go there. So this is about everything that we have on this PC. I would say that it was very, very easy to take apart. This would pretty much never get destroyed. So if I want to list this housing, it really makes no sense. Another thing I would have loved to take out is this rubbers right here, this plastic foot. Sometimes you get a PC that no longer have these plastic foots and it might be difficult to get a replacement. So definitely I'm going to be pulling this out some other time. But for now, all we just have to, actually go ahead and list is this cooler right here. Still very, very functional. This front blend right here, this would definitely be of interest to somebody. This power supply right here, this plastic case, I'm not so sure if anybody would want to have this, but well, if I have time, I can also go ahead and list this. And then the screws I can take away. And the main thing is this main board right here. I'm not so sure how much this costs. Before I will list it anyway, I have to actually check to see, to make sure that the price, for which I'm offering it is actually, very, very competitive. So this is all I've got for you guys today. I must say that this was a very easy PC to take apart. If for one reason or the other you are interested in any of these parts, feel free to write me in the comment section, or better still, go onto the link in the description below. You will be fortunate to get these parts right there on the Hardware Money Shop. Until I see you again in the next video, peace.